Welcome back, everybody. We're going to deep dive today into something you all know, breast milk. You know it's important for babies, but did you know there's more research out there on coffee and wine and tomatoes than on breast milk?
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
It's this crazy complex substance that's so vital to human life, and we're just scratching the surface of what it can do. Our deep dive today is based on a Korean article called 5 Mysteries About Breast Milk. It just really highlights how much we're still uncovering about this.
So let's jump right into the first mystery then. Breast milk's ability to adapt when a baby gets sick. We all know it has antibodies, but the article talks about how these immune components actually increase if a baby is fighting something off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's like a personalized defense system.
Right.
There was this 2013 study, and they found that when moms' A&D babies had colds, white blood cell levels in the breast milk jumped 64 times.
64 times?
64 times. Even when only the baby was sick, the increase was still 13-fold.
13 times, that's huge. But how does the mother's body even know the baby is sick in the first place?
That's the really cool part. The leading theory is that the infant's saliva, traveling back through the breast ducts while nursing, acts as like a signal.
Oh.
It tells the mother's immune system, hey, we've got this bug to fight, and boom, tailored defenses are produced.
That's incredible. But the article mentions another immune molecule, lactoferrin, that also increases. What does that do?
Lactoferrin.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. It has antiviral, antibacterial, and even antifungal properties.
Yeah.
Studies show it's not just reactive either. Lactoferrin levels go up before and after an infant gets sick, so almost like the milk is anticipating the baby's needs.
Wow. So it's like having a personal bodyguard and doctor built right in.
Exactly. And it raises all these questions about how these responses evolved and what benefits they might offer beyond just fighting infection. Maybe it primes the infant's own immune development. There's so much more to explore there.
Well, moving on to mystery number 2, we're tackling a topic close to any new parent's heart, sleep. The article suggests that breast milk might play a role in regulating babies' sleep cycles.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds almost too good to be true, right?
It's definitely intriguing. So you see, breast milk contains melatonin, which is the sleep hormone.
Yeah.
And it also has tryptophan, which is an amino acid that helps create melatonin.
Right.
And the levels of these substances actually fluctuate throughout the day.
Okay.
So
What that means?
it means that melatonin levels in breast milk are almost 5 times higher at night than during the day.
Wow.
While cortisol, a hormone that is associated with wakefulness, peaks in the morning.
So the baby is getting these natural sleep and wake-up signals through their meals.
Potentially, yeah. But there's more to it. I mean, think about it from an evolutionary perspective. Having synchronized sleep cycles would benefit both the mother and the baby.
Oh, yeah.
Right. It allows the mother to rest when the baby is sleeping and ensures that the baby is awake and nursing when the mother is most alert.
That makes perfect sense. It's like nature designed a system where the baby's needs are met while giving the mother a much-needed break. But I'm sure there's still a lot of questions about how these hormones actually impact a baby's sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. And one question is whether formula-fed babies who don't receive these fluctuating hormones might have different sleep patterns. It really highlights the subtle but potentially significant ways that breast milk might influence early development.
It really makes you think. And speaking of things that shape development, the third mystery focuses on the gut microbiome. I've heard so much about how important a healthy gut is, but I never knew that breast milk actually feeds the trillions of microbes that live there.
It does.
Right.
It's not just food for the baby, it's food for their little passengers too.
Right.
And this is where human milk oligosaccharides come in, or HMOs.
Okay, you're going to have to break that down for me. What exactly are HMOs, and what do they do?
Imagine HMOs like specialized fertilizer for a garden. They're complex sugars that make up the 3rd largest component of breast milk. But here's the catch. Babies can't actually digest them.
So if the baby can't digest them, what's the point?
They're not meant for the baby directly. They're food for the beneficial bacteria in the baby's gut.
Oh.
Different types of HMOs promote the growth of different beneficial bacterial species.
Wow. That's pretty remarkable. So breast milk is like a customized prebiotic blend, ensuring that all the good bacteria thrive. But wouldn't it be more efficient if the baby just digested those sugars directly? Why this indirect route?
That's a great question. One theory is that by feeding these specific bacteria, the mother is essentially creating a defense system within the baby's gut. So these beneficial microbes can then outcompete the harmful ones, reduce the risk of infection and inflammation, and then promote overall health.
So it's like this carefully orchestrated microbial battle happening inside each tiny tummy. It makes you wonder if we could use this knowledge to develop better prebiotics or probiotics for adults.
Oh, yeah. It's a fascinating area of research, and there's huge potential there. We're still deciphering what constitutes a healthy infant gut microbiome, how it changes over time, and how breast milk plays into all of that.
Speaking of things that change, mystery number 4 tackles this assumption that all breast milk is created equal. The article suggests there is actually significant variation. Is that true?
Very true. Breast milk composition can vary dramatically between mothers. It can vary for the same mother nursing different babies, and even throughout a single feeding session.
Wow, I had no idea. So what factors cause these variations? I mean, how does a mother's body even know what to adjust?
Well, think of it like this. A mother's body is constantly responding to these internal and external cues. So the baby's age, sex, health status, the mother's diet, environment, stress levels.
Oh, wow.
It all plays a role.
So it's this incredibly dynamic system that's constantly fine-tuning the milk to meet the baby's needs.
Right.
Wow. The article mentioned something about the baby's sex impacting the milk. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. Studies in rhesus monkeys and cows show that mothers produce more milk volume for their female offspring.
Oh, interesting.
But the milk for males is higher in fat. And this is thought to be linked to the different growth rates and nutritional needs of male and female infants.
That's fascinating. So there's a possibility that human breast milk also varies based on the baby's sex. What implications could that have?
Well, if that's true, it could revolutionize how we approach infant formula and donor milk. Imagine being able to tailor those resources to meet a baby's specific needs based on their sex or even their individual growth patterns.
That would be amazing. It's like personalized nutrition from the get-go. But now, hold on to your hats because mystery number 5 is about to blow our minds. Stem cells in breast milk.
You got it.
Stem cells in breast milk. I thought stem cells were found in bone marrow and cord blood, not in the stuff you feed a baby.
I know, right? It's one of the more recent discoveries in breast milk research. In 2007, scientists found that stem cells, those cellular chameleons that can become different types of tissue, are actually present in human breast milk.
Wow.
And it's not just a random finding. They're functional.
Okay, now I'm really curious. What does it mean that they're functional? Are they just hanging out in the milk, or are they actually doing something?
Research suggests they're not just passive passengers. There was a 2014 study, and in mice, they showed that stem cells from the mother's milk crossed into the pup's bloodstream and incorporated themselves into various tissues, and they even matured into functioning cells.
That's incredible. What kinds of tissues did they become, and what does this mean for the baby?
Well, they were found in various organs, including the brain, liver, pancreas, and even the thymus, which is crucial for immune function. It's like the mother is providing this cellular toolkit that the baby can use for growth and development, and possibly even repair.
So, on top of all the other amazing things breast milk does, it might also be giving babies a boost in cellular regeneration. This is wild. I'm already imagining all the potential applications of this discovery.
The possibilities are truly exciting. However, we're still trying to understand the full scope of these stem cells' influence. What specific roles do they play in infant development? What happens to babies who don't receive them? Do they contribute to long-term health? There's so much more to explore.
And speaking of exploring, this discovery has also led to some fascinating developments in the lab. Researchers are taking these breast milk stem cells and doing some pretty amazing things with them.
Ah, yes. It's like stepping into the future of medicine. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's take a moment to process all the incredible things we've learned so far.
So we've established that breast milk is packed with these stem cells that can potentially integrate into a baby's tissues. But you mentioned scientists are doing some really cool things with these cells in the lab. What's going on there?
They're growing these stem cells into what are called organoids.
Organoids. Is that like a mini organ?
Exactly. Think of it as like a simplified 3D version of an organ grown in a dish. It's not a fully functional organ, but it shares a lot of the same characteristics, and it can be used to study things.
So they're growing mini organs from breast milk stem cells. That sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie. What kind of organoids are they making?
Well, in this case, they've been able to create organoids that resemble the milk-producing alveoli found in the breast.
Hold on, they're growing mini breasts in a lab.
In a way, yeah. They're not full breasts, of course, but these organoids can actually produce milk components.
No, that's mind-blowing. So what are the implications of this? Are we talking lab-grown breast milk becoming a reality?
It's one of the potential applications that scientists are really excited about. The ability to produce milk outside of the body could be revolutionary for babies who, for various reasons, can't get breast milk directly from their mothers.
I can see how that would be a game changer, especially for premature babies or babies with certain medical conditions. And what about adoptive mothers who want to provide breast milk but can't?
Exactly. It could give those mothers a way to nourish their babies in a way that wasn't possible before.
It sounds like we're on the verge of some pretty incredible breakthroughs. But beyond lab-grown breast milk, are there other ways that these breast milk stem cells could be used in research?
Absolutely. Researchers are exploring their potential in all sorts of areas, like breast cancer research, tissue regeneration, and even new therapies for other diseases. For example, these stem cells could help us understand how breast cancer develops or provide new ways to repair damaged tissues.
This is all so fascinating. I'm starting to see breast milk in a whole new light. It's not just about providing nutrients. It's like this incredibly potent biological package that influences a baby's development on so many different levels.
That's a great way to put it. It makes you realize how much we still have to learn about the full potential of breast milk.
Okay, so we've covered 4 mysteries: immune adaptation, sleep regulation, the gut microbiome, and variations in milk composition. Then we dove headfirst into this crazy world of stem cells and their potential applications. Is there anything else we missed from that Korean article?
Actually, there's one more mystery that we haven't touched on yet, and it kind of gets into some of the ethical considerations surrounding breast milk research.
Oh, interesting. What kind of ethical considerations are we talking about?
Well, as with any scientific advancement, especially those involving human cells and tissues, there are some important ethical discussions to have. For instance, who owns the breast milk that's used in research?
That's a really good point. I guess we often think of breast milk as just, well, milk. But if it contains these valuable stem cells and has the potential for all these applications, it raises questions about consent and ownership and how we regulate its use in research and commercial applications.
Exactly. And it's important to remember that breast milk is a bodily fluid, and any research or applications involving it should be approached with respect for the women who provide it. Transparency and informed consent are absolutely crucial.
I completely agree. It sounds like this 5th mystery isn't just about uncovering scientific secrets, but also about having important conversations as a society about how we approach these advancements responsibly.
Absolutely. Ethical considerations should always be at the forefront of scientific progress, especially when we're dealing with something as personal and as powerful as breast milk.
Well, I think that's a perfect segue into wrapping up our deep dive for today. This episode has definitely been a whirlwind of information, and it's kind of amazing to think that we've only scratched the surface of what there is to know about breast milk.
Yeah,
Right.
it has been quite a fascinating journey. And it's a reminder that even the most familiar things can hold extraordinary secrets just waiting to be revealed.
It really is. So for our listeners who might be feeling a little overwhelmed with all this information, what's the one key takeaway you want them to remember?
I think the biggest takeaway is that breast milk is so much more than just food. It's this dynamic, living substance that plays a huge role in shaping a baby's health and development in so many ways. And with each new scientific discovery, we get a better understanding of its complexity, and it's just amazing.
Beautifully put. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a final thought. If breast milk can adapt to a baby's immune needs, regulate their sleep, and even carry stem cells, what other secrets could it be hiding?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
What other components are in there that we haven't even discovered yet? Could there be new immune factors or growth factors, or even components that influence brain development in ways we can't even imagine?
Yeah. It's almost like breast milk is this vast, uncharted territory just waiting to be explored, and who knows what groundbreaking discoveries are out there.
One thing is for sure, the future of breast milk research is full of possibilities, and I can't wait to see what we find next.
I know, me too. And on that note, we'll say goodbye for now, fellow knowledge seekers. Keep those brains buzzing, and remember, there's always more to learn. We've been through these 5 mysteries of breast milk, and we really learned a lot more than just the basics. It's amazing to me how this knowledge we've been discussing really challenges a lot of our assumptions.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
It really does. We often think of breast milk as this simple thing,
Yeah.
when in reality it's incredibly complex, it's dynamic, and it's changing to meet the baby's needs.
Yeah.
We're only beginning to understand it all.
Right. And it's not just about nutrition.
Right.
It's about immune defense, sleep regulation, shaping the gut microbiome, and even contributing to tissue repair and development with those stem cells. It makes you really appreciate the connection between a mother and a baby.
Absolutely. It really highlights how interconnected biology is. Evolution created these elegant systems that support life.
Yeah, it's incredible. Speaking of incredible systems, I have to say, when we started this deep dive, I thought I knew a thing or two about breast milk.
Oh, yeah.
And wow, was I wrong?
I mean, we all start somewhere. That's the beauty of science, right?
Yeah.
It challenges what we think we know and shows us all these hidden wonders.
It does. So for our listeners who are probably feeling overwhelmed with all this info, what's the one thing you want them to remember?
I think the biggest takeaway is that breast milk is so much more than food. It's a dynamic, living substance, and it plays a huge role in a baby's development in a bunch of ways. And with every new study, we get a better understanding of its complexity, and it's amazing.
That's a great way to put it. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about. If breast milk can adapt to a baby's immune needs and regulate sleep and even carry stem cells, what other secrets could it be hiding?
That's a great question. What other stuff is in there that we don't even know about yet? Could there be immune factors, growth factors, or even stuff that influences brain development that we can't even imagine?
It's crazy. It's like breast milk is this huge, uncharted territory. Who knows what we'll find?
One thing is for sure, the future of breast milk research is full of possibility, and I can't wait to see what we discover.
I know, me too. Well, that's it for us this week. Thanks for joining us, and keep those brains buzzing. There's always more to learn.